Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today to continue the tarot readings for the groups for this 2023, I'm going to introduce a bit of feminine energy and I'm going to do a reading for the group VIVIZ. So yes, let's see the cards that they got. We start in the reading with the Six of Cups, Five of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, the Tower and the Ace of Swords. So definitely from the beginning we can see a lot of cups, so obviously there's a lot of emotions still, there's a lot of things about the past that probably the members have to like work on, their emotional state, also the past and somehow being able to move on. Probably they're still in a sort of grief period, they still are not completely over it. There's a lot of regrets, like a lot of like bittersweet feelings, like not being able to actually like enjoy the moment a bit, because I think that neither of them have moved on. Probably the audience haven't moved on entirely. So I think that it's a bit difficult for them to be like, yes, we are this new version or we are this new group, because somehow they carry the past with them. Probably they are a bit more like secure that what they want is a change. They definitely do not want to be associated with what happened in the past. They embrace the past. They are not forgetting. It's not that they are like denying their where they come from and their identity. It's just that they want to move on, and somehow I think that probably it also is the audience that doesn't allow them to fully like make that, like, I don't know why, but it seems like when they think that they are finally VIVIZ, as a new identity as a group, somehow the past always comes up. Like, I don't know if it's to compare, to somehow make them realize like, oh, look what happened in the past, and so they want to move on desperately, honestly, because I think that they realize that they need movement in their lives. I think that probably emotionally they're still a bit stuck in the past, but when it comes to actions and what they are working hard, or what they are working for in this present, it's all about movement. It's all about like, okay, like we need to move, like we need to make this wheel of fortune turn, we need to bring a speed, we need to bring novelty, we need to get out of this period of grief. There's like, okay, we have to make the move, because if we don't move, the audience is not going to move, like we need to keep moving. And also they want to set themselves free from a lot of things. They have the Tower here, so probably 2023 is going to be a year of a lot of abrupt changes for them. They definitely, I think that they are moving towards this change. They know it's coming, and it's coming in the format of in the shape of introducing new ideas and concepts. So and also like probably like communicating with the audience with different styles, probably like being a bit more raw, being a bit more like straightforward, being a bit more like assertive, and making it very clear that this is the new version of them, that that they don't want to go back to the past. They want to cut the association somehow. They want to they want something to break. This is why they have the tower here. They want to destroy whatever happened in the past, and being able to rebuild themselves again when it comes to identity, because otherwise they will always be in this sort of very very toxic cycle of never ending pittiness, and I think that is not how they feel, but it's how the people make them feel, like, oh yes, you are the girls from, oh yes, so they are like, no, we have to break this cycle. We have to like introduce like even a very chaotic like beginning, a beginning where you're like, oh wow, this is new, like, oh, I didn't expect this from them. Well, this is exactly the impact that they want to create. Probably is, I don't know, their comeback can be a bit like, especially the concept or the ideas can be a bit like, chaotic, a bit like not a mix of ideas or a mix of a lot of genders, like not a bit confusing even, but they definitely are bringing the change to their career, to them, because they don't want to be stuck in the past. This is the reality. They need to keep moving because it's healthy and also because it's time. I feel like probably in the past they felt that they had been a bit passive about things, but honestly, if I have to, to observe everything that the cards are showing me, I think that it's not them that they are not moving on. It's the audience basically, or the people around them. It's like they somehow want to keep them in this sort of like bubble of the old days and not realizing that the girls are actually over it. The girls don't want to be dragged to the past again, because they suffer enough. Like I think that this was very traumatic for them, and to be constantly reminded of that is like, yeah, we didn't get what we wanted, but yeah, the resolution is that we are still here, the people that we are here. So please, like, instead of comparing to what it used to be, please look at us now, in the present, like, and make us feel welcome in this present, like make us feel like we are enough, like appreciate our efforts, because this wasn't easy, but it is what it is. So I think that this is about also the Wheel of Fortune is here to also like make them face that it is what it is, it is what they are capable of bringing today. Probably there's a level of dissatisfaction because they do not feel like entirely ready. Accordingly to their experience, they have a lot of experience, but somehow this tower moment indicates they have to start all over. And starting all over for someone that has a lot of years in the industry is like, oh, it's a bit uncomfortable, but also, times are changing, the paradigms are changing, everything is changing around them. And they are also in the search of this new style. So they are like, okay, I think that somehow it's a bit messy process because they have to forget somehow what they learned in the past about technique and stuff, and incorporate new ways of working and new ways of expression, new styles, new even body language, so they are like, okay, we have to move on. This Wheel of Fortune is like, okay, move, but move with what is the present, move with what is popular right now, move with what is being presented today. Like, don't get stuck in the always, because somehow it's not that the traditional way that they had been working is not efficient. Actually, it's really good because it's very authentic and they are very talented. But at the same time, the times have changed, and also it's great because it allows them to bring something, a style that can differentiate from who they were. So I think that it's this, they are making this huge effort to now go back to the past. I think that this is very important. I hope that the audience get this, because definitely the girls are putting their effort, are really like coming clean about their true desires. They are becoming more brave. They are becoming more competitive at the same time, and also very crystal clear about what they want to communicate. I think that this is going to be a brand new beginning for them. They have the Ace of Swords, so probably the communication with the fans is going to be more established, a bit more frequent. They are going to be like participating in events, and also like in social media, being able to promote, and you will get to see them. Like the communication is going to be very clear and fluent. Like, it's not like past situations where they were a bit like MIA and you like didn't know what yes, they released a song, but somehow they were like nowhere, so you were like trying to find out what they were up to. But this year is going to be different. This year is going to be more like, okay, like we are communicating, we are showing ourselves openly, and they also are going to talk about the struggles of the creative process, and probably also like trying to find a very empowering but also a very real message about their female perspective of things, about being a female group. They want to create also awareness, and also want to connect with their femininity, and being able to talk about subjects that has to do with what women and females of their age go through. Somehow becoming a bit more like honest about like situations, probably thoughts and visions about relationships and connections, and how they feel about themselves. So probably it's going to be a very personal comeback. But yes, I'm sure that there's something is going to change. The style probably is going to be very different, because they are looking to differentiate themselves. So definitely, I think that at first maybe it's going to be a bit like, like trying to understand, what is this that they are bringing, this project. But then eventually they are going to start to talk a bit more about it, and you will be able to understand their point of view, and the decision behind this, the meaning behind this. But yet it's a whole rebirth for them, and actually to be able to get to this point was very harsh for them. Definitely here with the Tower moment and all the cards that indicate, that talk about the past and stuff. These girls went through a lot. Like the former group, the former members, the girls that are part of VIVIZ, everyone went through a very tough situation, trying to find themselves, trying to reconnect with music, reconnect also with the industry. That I think that the industry is also a bit cruel to them. I feel like there's a lot of coldness coming from the people around them. I think that they are okay where they are right now, but they had faced a few situations where people were really cold towards them, or where they felt a bit like rejected, where they felt like the outcast somehow, but they are becoming stronger. They are embracing that it is what it is. And yes, it's uncomfortable, and yes, there are moments, there are dark moments here, but they want to keep moving. They want to keep moving because they know that this is the only way to get out of this, uncertainty. They need to move. They need to move their energy, their bodies. So somehow to do a sort of purge within themselves, to somehow move. They need to move, dance, laugh, cry. There's a lot of things that they have to get out of their chest. And I think that probably music is going to help them do it. But also the fan support, the fans support. I think that probably the girls are a bit probably a bit like, you will notice that there's a bit of coldness coming from them, or a bit like they feel like they are too intellectual or detached, or a bit cold in their body language. But it's not that they are being cold or detached. It's just that they have been protecting themselves from a lot of things. So if you notice that their body language or the way they communicate, it's a bit like, like how can I say this? Like, as if they are like really like serious, like they are very serious, their energy is a bit like, oh, you're like, what's going on? A bit apathic also. No, it's just that they are in the process of, shedding old skin. So this is going to be a bit like dark and a bit like heavy when it comes to energy, but there's nothing wrong with these girls. These girls are healing. It's just that they have to go through, like picking up the pieces and rebuilding themselves again. So it's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be glamorized. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be, yes, very straightforward. You definitely are going to notice that they had matured a lot, not only in their style, but also themselves. You're going to notice that they are, finally, they are women. I don't know why. I don't know much about the former group. I used to follow them. I loved their music. But I don't know about age and life experiences. But I think that if you've had following them for a while, you are going to notice how mature they are now compared to maybe how they used to be perceived in the past. Probably in the past they used to be perceived as a bit more naive, or a bit like too sweet or something like that, and now they are like, no, we are women, and we are entering like, and probably there's obviously the years had passed, so they are no longer the same people, but there's a sense of like, you are dealing with women now here, they are not child. And there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of like life experience, and yes, they are ready to communicate. They are ready to, they are ready to show themselves, which is, I think that it's great, because they are taking over their career, their path. This is the new them. This is a new side. This is a new cycle that is starting all over. So yes, we should take it and embrace it for what it is, and not always like being comparing to what happened in the past, So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.